Hello everyone, Tracy here. Today I thought I'd share with you some tags that I made. These ones, like my last ones, are also a seasonal theme. I will start with the spring one, and I got this idea from a sticker I saw at Michael's. It was so pretty. It was a branch and it went out and had all these pretty little blossoms all over it. And I'm like, oh, that's really a pretty sticker. I might want to get that. And it was a little pricey. And my daughter's like, oh, Mom, you can make that. And it's funny that she said that because I'm the one that's usually looking at things and like, oh, I can make that. And I'm sure you all do the same thing. I think all us crafters see something that we like and figure a way that we can make it ourselves. But I don't know how my branch turned into a tree, but it did. And that's another thing we do. We start with one thing and we come up with something totally different than what we started with. So this is my spring one. I cut the tree, which was actually a branch from my Cricut cartridge, the Winter Woodland. And what I did was I cut the branch down and I adhered part of it, or glued this part here, so it looks like a tree branch coming out of the middle. So it looks more like a tree instead of just a long skinny branch. And these flowers I got many years ago. I think I got them at the dollar store or something. And they're made out of tin. They're not plastic. They're made out of like a thin metal or a thin tin. They're really neat. And they came with their own pop dots and everything, so that was neat. And this sentiment here, I stamped that with one of those $1.50 fines that you get at Michael's. I love those. I use those all. This paper here is actually grass paper, and it's funny that I had it with me because I made these at my sister-in-law Sharon's camp. Every May long weekend we get together with my girls and we go to her camp and we craft all weekend long. Guys go fishing, we go to her camp. I think we have more fun. So anyways, I was surprised. Like I said, I can only bring limited supplies with me, so I was surprised I had that because I wasn't sure what I was going to do when I was there besides make some tags. So anyways, then I inked the edges, and this I also cut from the Cricut cartridge. I don't know which cartridge it was, but it's kind of neat because I made these tags. I know Carol was so kind and sent me some tags because I was making my own. And I haven't dipped into the ones that she gave me yet because I haven't made any since she sent me those, but I'm sure I will be making more because these are really fun to do. So that's my spring one. And then here's the summer one. And I used the same, I did the exact same thing. All the trees are the same, there's just a little different paper for the base of the tree. And this one I used the Martha Stewart punch. And if you're familiar with the Martha Stewart punch, you know that it punches, the insides get punched out. And I didn't want to see through the wings. So what I did was, after I punched it out, I adhered it to cardstock and then fussy cut around each butterfly, which was a big thing for me because I am not into fussy cutting. I love punches. They're so much easier for me. And I admire these women that can do all this fussy cutting. I admire you so much because I just can't get into that. I can crochet, I could knit, I can cross stitch, but fussy cut is just something that I'm not into. So anyways, this is another one of those $1.50 stamps, and this is what I like to do. Here's the punches I like to use. Punch on top of a punch. That's my way of going. And so I inked around the edges, and again I used that grass paper, but I backed it behind some just dark green cardstock and added some ribbon to that. So that's the spring. And here's the fall one. And this one, same tree, but I use this paper. It's so pretty. It's embossed and it has all this sparkle in it. It's just beautiful paper. And then I punched out the maple leaves and the autumn. I stamped that and then punched that out, inked around the edges, and did some more ribbon on there. And I punched this maple leaf out and then punched the hole in the middle for the reinforcement here. And lastly, the winter one, I cut these poinsettias out also with the Winter Woodland cartridge. And then I put the white paper down for the snow and put snow into the trees and inked around the edges and did a winter sentiment. And there is my seasonal tags.